What if I told you that it is possible to become so good that your team doesn't matter? You might think I'm crazy, but that is exactly what I did. I was able to reach Immortal in just 1 month of playing and consistently place top 1000 in the ranked leaderboards in every act I played, while also balancing my health, studying university, working on my internships, and improving my relationships. Today's video, I'll be teaching you the 5 secrets that you need to understand so you can rank up Battle Silver fast without having to sacrifice your life. And before we get into the video, if you struggle with ping issues and are just annoyed from dying to people because of your internet, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, ExitLag. ExitLag has leading technology that gives you a huge FPS boost to your game and even has AI route optimization that helps you find the best path to game servers to ensure that you're getting the lowest ping possible and that your connection is always stable. It is super easy to download. Just go on their website, log in, and click download. After it's all installed, all you'll need to do is turn on ExitLag with a button on the top left, and then you can enjoy a lag-free experience from there. You can use ExitLag in more than 2,000 games, and ExitLag has optimized servers all around the world just for you. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can enjoy the benefits of ExitLag anywhere. Here is an example of my ping before ExitLag and turning it on. If you're interested, ExitLag is hosting a birthday sale right now for 50% off their yearly plans, so make sure to click on the link in the top of the description and the pinned comment so you don't miss out on this amazing deal. And for the first lesson, that if you don't implement today, you will end up being stuck forever, which is to play selfishly. So many people get too caught up with the whole team first mentality and actually start doing things that toss you games. A common example of this can be found if you become too scared to peek angles after being in a man advantage, or too scared to make solo plays when you have the timing to do so. I see so many of my students who I coach in my VIP community fail in this aspect, which holds them back from carrying their teammates and ranking up instantly. Now, am I telling you to run it down? Of course not. But what I am telling you to do is to be more intentional with the plays that you make and put yourself in more fights. The only way, and I mean only way, for you to consistently carry your games is to actively be in the main fights of every round. Stop trusting your teammates to win their duels when you should be the person to do it for them. You can see this everywhere with top pro players like Exter. As you can see in this clip, not even 3 seconds into the round, he has already TP'd to help the other side and be in the main commotion of the game. There are exactly 3 reasons why he does this consistently in every single game he plays. 1. He knows that in ranked, most people are just going to be running it down, so he's able to fast rotate unless proven otherwise. 2. In order for him to consistently carry, he must be the one taking the duels because he is confident in his own mechanics much more than his teammates. And lastly, number 3, he has a carry mentality and understands that the reason why he can be placed rank 1 every act is because he is able to consistently frag and dominate in every game he plays. This all comes from the sheer confidence Exter has in himself to win every fight and the thousands of hours he has put in to perfect his craft. Obviously, some of you guys don't have the confidence or skill like he does. So for us to improve in this, an actionable step that we can take to reach that level of play is to lock characters that allow us to take more gunfights and pick up a fast rotator role. Characters like Reyna, Jet, Raze, Clove, or Yoru are all great picks for you to choose from to practice aggression if you're someone who's afraid to take things into your own hands, since all of these agents have strong aggressive utility to rely on. And again, do not run it down. What you should be doing is instead implementing the fast rotate playstyle. Essentially, this comes from you playing aggressive in the first 10 seconds of the round, such as taking a jiggle peek towards B main like Exter did, and instantly rotating wherever the enemies are. The more gunfights you're able to take in the game, the higher the chances of you being able to carry your team is. This is the real secret to becoming so good that your team doesn't matter. Become the floater player in the game. And this requires not only smart decision making, but strong mechanical ability to back it up. To further cement my fighting theory to rank up fast, an outside example of someone who carries every game they play in is LeBron James. Yes, he has one of the most missed shots in all of NBA history. However, he is still able to dominate in every match he is in because he is taking much more shots than everyone else. LeBron has the proper carry mentality where he knows that for him to win games, he has to take it into his own account. And if you don't believe that this actually works, I did the exact same thing. I went from playing only support agents and switching to a duelist role, and not only did my KD shoot up like crazy, but my overall win rate went from a 50% to a 70% because I simply was able to be in more fights. Granted, I use my personalized Kovacs playlist every single day, which helps me tremendously improve my aim. If you're interested in getting it, the Google document is linked down in the description where you can get the full thing for free. Now, as important as learning how to play selfishly is for carrying your games, without learning this next lesson, everything after will become useless, which is to implement the rear view mirror method. This is a method that I have personally coined, which drastically improves your game sense and decision making. And essentially, the rear view mirror method is very similar to how you drive your car. I'm not sure where you live, but in Canada, it is a lot to look at all of your rear view mirrors every 5 seconds when you're driving. This is because it promotes safer driving and enforces others to be more aware of their surroundings. If one of your biggest struggles is making better decisions and reading the enemy, all of your problems will be instantly fixed if you just looked at your minimap more and were aware of what was going on, not just around you, but on the whole map. So going back to what the rear view mirror method is in game, you should be trying to look at your minimap every 5 seconds, or a total of 20 times per round. Am I just pulling out random numbers from my ass? No. The pros are already doing this. One of my favorite examples to use is Zekin, who is one of the best players in the world. I am just going to have him on the background for this segment, and you can count for yourself how many times he looks at the minimap in just this one round. Actually, you can see physically his eyes leaning towards the minimap literally every 5 seconds because he knows how important it is to understand what is going on around him so that he can capitalize off the information and be where the fights are. This also helps him fast rotate, support his teammates with utility, peek with teammates, and make better decisions. Almost every choice you make should be backed up with proper information, which is easily accessible from just looking at the minimap. And no, you don't need to stare at it. Just like when you are driving your car, you aren't staring at your mirrors, but are glancing at it and taking in all the information within just a couple of seconds. Looking at the minimap is a skill, and is probably one of the most important skills to learn if you want to effortlessly carry your games and stop relying on your teammates. So an actual step that you can take to improve in this is to practice it in death matches. Count in your head every 5 to 7 seconds and look at your minimap. Do this every single day until you can do the rear view mirror method subconsciously. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see constantly happening from every rank, and it is a fundamental skill that everyone needs to master. And if you want to learn more and want personalized help from me, then I suggest you join my VIP coaching community. I will be hosting exclusive giveaways for members where I'll be handing out gaming equipment such as wooden keyboards and much more. On top of that, anyone who joins will get free Kovac Steam keys. You will also get a free one-on-one coaching session every single month from me personally, where I've helped hundreds of players learn how to rank up fast in the least amount of time possible. Finally, you will also have access to full guides on how to actually improve in Valorant and the full roadmap to Immortal, a full guide of my aim training routine, a full guide on how I was able to lose 100 pounds, 2 weekly group coaching calls, and 24/7 messaging with me. This is the only place where you can learn how to rank up fast and join a community of players who are dedicated to both improving in Valorant and their real life as well. If you're interested, go to my website page and join today. Now moving on to the third lesson that I want to share with you guys. This lesson is something that I see so many players don't do and is a main factor that held back a lot of my students. Hell, even I was someone who fell into this trap of overcomplicating every single step of improvement, thinking that more work equaled better results. However, this was not the case, which is why the third lesson that you need to start practicing today is to simplify the whole process. Believe me, as someone who is trying his best to balance Valorant, coaching, university, internships, my relationships, my business, and my health, it is super fucking hard to do all these things at the exact same time and still trying to improve in all of them. Even I thought I can handle it, but it shortly after just resulted in me burning out and negatively impacting a lot of these areas in my life. Was I able to reach a lot of my goals, like losing 100 pounds, earning enough money to pay off my own tuition, build a sustainable business while doing something I love, and develop strong relationships with others? Yes, I did accomplish these things. However, it wasn't because I tried to improve in everything all at once. It was actually all because of this one simple method. So how did I fix this? I simply took on the 3 focus principle. Essentially, the 3 focus principle breaks down the most important areas of your life that you want to succeed in and gives you clarity on what you want to achieve. So for example, instead of trying to improve in everything, I instead just chose 3. The 3 being for me, my health, my relationships, and my business. These are the 3 core pillars that I will spread 80% of my energy into to ensure that I am improving in all of them. To go even deeper than that, I would break down each pillar into 3 more segments to further clarify what I need to accomplish to make sure I'm taking the right steps to reaching my goals. So for example, For health, I would walk 10,000 steps per day, live 4 times per week, and eat majority whole foods. Or for my business, I would script write for 1 hour per day, coach 2 students daily, and work on the full guide PDFs for my VIP community. And even though these are my current pillars for right now, when I was trying to reach a moral for the first time that literally took me 1 month of playing to do so, I applied the exact same concept. So for Valorant, the 3 core pillars I focused on was to aim train for 45 minutes daily, play 3 death matches daily, and play 5 ranked games. And obviously, the 3 core pillars for each specific category can change. For example, in terms of Valorant, you can switch out playing 3 death matches per day to practicing your lineups for 20 minutes. Or for my health, I can switch out walking 10,000 steps per day to eating 200 grams of protein per day. It literally depends on what your goals are and what you want to achieve. But personally, these are the exact steps that I took that have helped me the most in improving in everything in a relatively short amount of time. Just try to remember that you can get really good and even extraordinary at anything you wish, but it all comes down to your focus and clarity of what you want, because you won't be able to improve in everything all at once. So stop overcomplicating it and filling your plate with all these shiny objects. All you need to do is simplify the process and do the work that will actually result in improvement. Now, with that being said, the 3 focus principle did help, but alone, it wasn't enough for me to start single-handedly carrying my games to the point where my teammates didn't matter anymore. If you truly want to start ranking up fast, you need to start focusing on improving your adaptability. The skill of adaptability is one of, if not the most important things that everyone needs to learn in order to improve quickly. However, this is something that most players fail at simply because they don't know how to get better at the skill, which is why I want to introduce the pattern interrupt method. The pattern interrupt method calls back to breaking your predictable habits and play to your game and not theirs. For example, try to ensure you are changing the tempo of your plays in every round. Stop playing a super fast run it down style and drastically change the tempo to catch the enemies off guard. And something you should be looking out for on the enemy side is, well, what the name suggests, patterns that you can interrupt. Lots of players end up doing the same thing over and over again, and you can probably catch yourself running the same lineups, executes, and setups. With this in mind, use the pattern interrupt method to break these common habits that other players have and counter them. For example, looking at this clip of FPX versus PaperX, FPX knows that PaperX is a very aggressive team and loves to dry walk up and take 2v1 engagements. So FPX called for a counterplay to this pattern and interrupted it by making a setup to punish their playstyle. This is a very bare-bone example, but can be applied to any single rank game. Try your best to keep track of common patterns that the enemies do, such as specific dart lineups, all placements, and even agent positions. Keep this in the back of your head to make a direct counterplay for it in a future round. This is the best way to adapt in every rank game and was a huge factor of how I was able to reach Immortal in just 1 month. Now lastly, remember when we talked about the rear view mirror method earlier in this video? This last and final lesson I will leave off with you today is going to help you perfect the skill faster, which is to remove all autopiloting. I'm sure you have heard this a million times before, of higher ranked players telling you to just stop autopiloting, but not give you any practical and real advice that actually helps you. Well, luckily you clicked on this video, because this method that I have found will instantly help you break any autopiloting habits that you have and actually force you to become the best player in the lobby. This method is what I call the 3-play rule. The 3-play rule enforces you to not do the exact same play more than 2 times in a row. This will push you to not only stop autopiloting rounds and doing the same thing repeatedly, but promote you to analyze the enemies deeper and make better choices in the buy phase. This is something that every player in every rank should be doing, and was even something that I used to lose 100 pounds. I knew that me doing the same weight and reps every single day for my exercises wasn't going to get me anywhere, and me autopiloting the gym is just a waste of time and money. So for example, using the 3-play rule, I would do the same weight for benching 2 times in a row, but the 3rd time I would always push to change something and actually improve. That being, add an extra 5 to 10 pounds and shoot for the same amount of reps, or staying at the same weight but increasing the reps I did. This literally forced my body to adapt and push myself out of the autopiloting mentality. Instead of me doing the same actions every day thinking it would change something, implementing the 3-play rule helped me focus better and stay on track with improving myself. And to even add on with this, to help you even further, I would always meticulously track every action I did, both in games and out. So every time I did a play, I would track how many times I did it to know how many reserves I have left to repeat the same thing. This ensured that I wasn't becoming predictable and limit myself from autopiloting every round. And for my health, I made sure to note down every lift I did and how much weight and reps I did. This helped me keep myself accountable on my progress and to push myself to just add on that extra plate or go for that extra rep. Again, These are the 5 secrets that helped me improve so fast in Valorant that my teammates never mattered anymore. And combining all of these lessons helped me tremendously with both my real life and maintaining a high rank in Valorant. If you need any help implementing these and want personal coaching from me, make sure to check out my VIP community link down in the description. Thanks everyone for watching, and remember, you only fail when you stop trying. See you soon. Mwah.